For Kill Tony, the regulars are obviously a big part of the weekly show. Some are more popular than others. Until recently, we had the awkward Hans Kim opening with the simple Cam Paterson somewhere in the middle, and then the unhinged William Montgomery to close out the show. They all get their cheers from the audience, but online is where we see different opinions flying around, mostly in the YouTube comments and then the Kill Tony subreddit. It's hard to say what's a true representation of how the fans feel about the regulars because it does seem all over the place. I do think you're more likely to cheer if you're there in person at the mothership due to the atmosphere, how hard it is to even get inside the club, and the way Tony introduces them.
Up one of our most esteemed regulars of all time. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a brand new minute from a force of nature that we call Cam Paterson, everybody.
We raised him right here, like a little pup. He moved from his van to being an all-around wild success. You guys know the words?
There's definitely mixed feelings for at least 2 of the 3 regulars. You could argue that some people just love a downfall story, but nonetheless, it's still feedback from the fans. Hans Kim and Cam both get hate for a number of reasons, but the main thing is their performance. They've had repeated complaints that their sets were just bad. These are semi-pro comics, so writing a new minute every week that does well, of course, is going to be challenging. So to me, it's understandable that sometimes they're going to bomb. Hinchcliffe often expresses how hard it is to write a new minute every week so that the audience can appreciate how difficult it is.
It's the craziest thing in comedy history to have to do a new minute every week with millions of people watching. Literally, people don't make it a minute into most of the specials that go out nowadays.
I think Tony and the regulars are well aware of the bad comments that they get. Hans Kim has mentioned it, and even just recently, Cam had a pretty mediocre set and made this comment.
That's a new minute.
Yes.
Originally heard about it in an interview,
Yep.
and there it is, the actual bit. Unbelievable.
Yeah, them niggas already gonna hate me for that one, but...
Oh, yeah.
You ever stop and think how lucky you are?
Yeah. A lot of people have been reminding me how much I don't deserve it or whatever.
Now, it's obviously good for these guys to try out new material every week on a large platform and hopefully slowly get better. But there's definitely a downside to this, which is that people can get tired of them. Too much exposure can lead to irritation. You hear a song too much and you start to hate it. Plus, coming up with a fresh new minute every week is one thing, but then you have the interview.
Yeah.
Is that fun for you?
It was a good time, man. Shit was great, you feel me? A white bitch hit me up.
Ah.
We on the road, hell yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, that shit was crazy.
Tell us about it.
I'm doing fabulously. You know, my girlfriend's still white and I'm still rich.
What have you been doing exactly?
I swear to God, I'm not going to keep on beating a dead horse, but I ate a bowl of all-brand buds last night, and I ate another one today. And I had 2 legitimate shits, and Tony, I've started putting a bunch of blueberries in with my all-brand buds, and it looks like I'm not chewing my blueberries. They're all in the toilet. They're all in the doo-doo, Tony.
This stuff may be a novelty at first, but it can get tiring. A lot of fans clearly got sick of listening to Hans talk about his girlfriend. It's not hard to find comments with timestamps of when Hans Kim leaves the stage. So they not only have to come up with a new minute, but also have something new and interesting about their life to talk about every single week. I think there's a strong case for them to rotate regulars, or at least give them a break every 2 or 3 weeks, and maybe have some of the bucket pulls who did really well fill in as a regular every now and then. Each week one of the regulars could have a night off and come back stronger the next week. This could leave fans with some intrigue and have them more excited for their return, which brings up the current situation with Hans Kim.
That Rick gets to prepare this super minute over months without having to spend any minutes or interviews on the show. So it would be fair to give Hans Kim a break. So unless he absolutely wants one, he will not be performing until May 10th, live at the Forum on Kill Tony. I know. Listen to the controversy.
I feel great. I'm going to energize. I'm going to recharge. I'm going to come back better than ever. You know?
Yeah.
A lot of people cheered for me on that night at the arena, and I'm going to work hard for them.
So he's decided to take a break opening the show so he can prepare for his rematch against Rick Diaz. In total, he's taking like 2 months off. So he should be coming back with a much stronger set. Hopefully it isn't a repeat of what happened last time, and I don't mean the questionable win, but the outburst that came after.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for the opportunity. I love Hans either way. He thinks I hate him, but I don't.
Bye. Boring. Go back to your fucking Instagram.
That, unfortunately, just brought him more haters. Hopefully, if he wins again this time, he can be a better sport about it and treat it for what it is. It's a competition that he won. And for all those that say, yeah, but it's his livelihood that Rick came after, I would say, yeah, so what? Something has to be on the line. That's what makes it interesting. You could say the same thing about almost any one-on-one competition. They can still show respect after it's finished. What Hans did at the end looked childish, especially being the more established comic. So hopefully he learned from that and just shakes the guy's hand to show some humility, even if deep down he doesn't like him. So taking Hans' place while he's away is Casey Rocket.
Some folks are born meant to wave the flag. All right, very cool. Hell yeah. Happy birthday, Santa. All right. Very cool. God, I wish Santa was here to see this. Okay. He loves it when a good boy goes bad. All right, hell yeah.
The reception for this guy feels like night and day compared to Hans. I've seen comments with a lot of likes saying that they should just have Casey replace Hans and call it a day. In fact, I'm pretty sure a chunk of the fans don't even care who wins the rematch. No doubt some fans only liked Rick, not necessarily because they thought he was good, but because they just wanted Hans Kim out of Kill Tony. And we now have Casey Rocket, who seems to be a smash hit. If I was Hans, I would be a little worried because even if he does wipe the floor with Rick Diaz, it could be that most fans have already made up their mind about him. The most liked comment on a recent episode is, like if you don't miss Hans Kim. Casey Rocket is definitely a different kind of comic that we're used to seeing. It's crazy how subjective comedy can be.
My favorite thing is watching the people that did not get it. That was really enjoyable. Just these two are just baffled by this. They're like, I hope this isn't all night.
Personally, his style isn't for me, but I appreciate that it's something different. It's interesting to watch him perform. Sometimes the guests are looking at him thinking, what the hell am I watching? Meanwhile, Hinchcliffe is in tears. He kind of reminds me of a Robin Williams type comedian, and a lot of fans love this style of comedy, which brings up another reason why it could be a good idea to implement some type of rotation.
Hell yeah. Just riffing. Cal Rifkin Jr., we're having fun.
So Casey Rocket is obviously doing a bit, a shtick, whatever you want to call it. Just like Williams' lunatic personality, if you go over to Williams' podcast, him and Casey are sitting there talking like a couple of normal guys. Sadly, there's no weird outburst from William, which would make the podcast a little more entertaining, but maybe would be too much for an hour.
Oh shit. Oh wow.
I hated it!
Oh shit.
It was a horrible mistake!
Wow.
The odd personas are the main selling point for their performance, as opposed to their material. Only time will tell how soon this act will get old. It must be challenging for him to keep his act fresh. By the time we have the Hans Kim Rick Diaz battle, fans could already be over it, but seeing less of him could prolong the appeal he has on Kill Tony. Adam Ray does his Dr. Phil character like once, maybe twice a month.
Maybe it's time to say it with me, make a change. All right, 20 of you's enough.
He's conscious of the fact that there's an expiry date on that character. If he tries to milk it too much, we'd all get sick of it too quickly. It's best to give us a break. But let me know in the comments what you guys think. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.